Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ishan Asnayakar, currently following the diploma in biomedical science here at IIHS, and I'm here to present my research on nutritional supplement use among school-level athletes in Sri Lanka. You can find my abstract on page 44. As you can see, I've selected some newspaper cuttings from the past few years. This all revolves around my topic, where some of these kids take banned substances and they fall in trouble. And also some of the schools having issues where who to abort the wing when one team is found guilty of taking something illegal. And also some of the coaches talking about the fact that they don't have enough knowledge on certain enhancers and other nutritional products. Moving on, here are my key contents. And if I'm to introduce the topic, so sports supplements, it's used very commonly among popular schools. So a lot of schools spend a lot of money on nutritional supplements, and they provide the students with nutritional supplements. So, and apart from that, some of the kids, they buy supplements on their own, and we do not know how they take it and what type of products they take. And even though nutritional supplements are labeled as supplements and in different names, some of them might contain something banned, and in the future, when you take it, some of the kids may fall in trouble because something illegal is there. So my objective was to assess what type of nutritional products some of these athletes use, and also to describe or find out information on how they find out information on certain supplements, and also to assess their knowledge on some of the banned supplements and banned substances that are in the market. So my research was a descriptive cross-sectional study, and the population I used was school-level athletes in Sri Lanka, and the sample size is 130 school-level athletes in the Colombo area, and they were of the age 15 to 20. The area of study is 18 schools in Colombo, and the data collection method is self-administered questionnaire. As you can see my results, majority were males who answered the questionnaire, and also the age percentages vary from 15 to 20. The interesting fact is that around 62% actually took supplements in the past year, and the alarming factor is 59% took it without a doctor's permission. So there's a problem there. And also some of these students rely on dietary supplement labels. So we realized that around 48% of the population actually believe that supplements are right for them, but out of which 58.7 believe that by just reading and going through the labels, supplements are right for them. And I also asked to mention what type of products they are using, which was mentioned in different kinds. So around 60% of the students mentioned the type of product they are using, and out of which 45% were in powder form. So we get supplements in powder form. And the other aspect, if we go back to the previous few slides, I want to stress out that some of these kids don't take doctor's permission. So when taking a certain substance. So it's not mentioned here, but 13.1% of the students actually went to doctors or a physician to get information on supplements, and 68.4% of the students chose some irrelevant source of information in terms of finding out information on certain supplement products. It's generally believed that vitamins and energy drinks are not basically they are to enhance performances. I asked them a question to find out their knowledge on, if they have a knowledge on what enhancer or doping agent, and I wanted to know if they have idea of a nutritional supplement, the difference between a nutritional supplement and doping agent. Whereas 49% of the students believe that vitamins could enhance their performance, or which would have a doping effect in it. And also 50% of students believe that energy drinks also could enhance their performance, but in reality, it's they have to consider it because it contains a lot of caffeine in it, and it's there for a short period of time, and not a significant performance enhancing effect that could be achieved by using energy drinks. And I wanted to find out if the students had an idea of certain banned substances. So there are some of the data here. So a significant data, 45%, around 45% of students believe that agree that anabolic steroids can improve sports performances, and also there are some other facts as well, like muscle size. With doping, they could increase muscle size and achieve their desired capability. The psychological aspect that I was able to find out was that 45% of the students disagreeing respecting individual drug though. So basically, they didn't respect people who took something illegal. And out of my sample, 2.3% actually have taken a prohibited enhancing substance, and that's and I'd like to, if I would discuss my topic. So many of the students who consume supplement products did not go to a proper physician to get proper advice before taking them, and most of the athletes had a poor knowledge on doping agents, and they were not able to identify or differentiate a doping agent from a nutritional product, and the sources of information they used were not most of them, higher percentage was not valid, and again they had a fairly moderate knowledge on some of these doping agents, which was in previous set. My recommendation is to carry out awareness campaigns in schools, and also government, like the new drug policy, government should pass laws in a certain extent that a nutritionist or a physician would have to prescribe the certain supplement and test the student if the student is eligible to take this certain kind of product before taking it. And schools should also monitor closely if the students are taking what the schools provide, or they take something that their parents or someone else provides them. I would like to thank Dr. Kitsari and the staff, and also express my honest gratitude to Dr. Nishan to help me out, and thank everyone who supported my research. Here are my references. Is there any questions?